Hey there, Mark here from Tulloch Clan here. Boom. And I'm going to give you some fight predictions, as in what's going to be on the card for the Auckland Fight Night card coming up February 21st or 22nd, depending on where you are in the world. Boom. Okay, let's take a quick look at the promo video that the UFC has put out, just to get some clues into what's going on with this. We've got Dan Hooker, Jimmy Crute, boom, Quake, Riddell, Brad, Paul, Irish Dragon Felder, yes, Gaethje, woohoo, Gaethje, nice one, Robert Whittaker, comeback fight, keen to see that, Shane Young, he will be there, Jake Matthews, hope so, let's see him, Dustin Diamond Poirier, man, imagine that. As we can see, there's plenty on offer for that card for what we might expect to see. Let's go through all the people that were in that video. Dan Hooker. Well, Dan Hooker, we know that he's probably going to main event the card. It won't be Izzy. Izzy's going to defend his title probably in the States or somewhere like that. Maybe Brazil, maybe... Nah, probably back in the States. Vegas, let's be honest. Okay, so it's probably going to be Dan the Hangman Hooker. He's going to be going for a top opponent. Will it be Gaethje? Will it be Dustin Diamond Poirier? So that kind of tells us that one of those two opponents, either way, I am happy. Dustin Diamond Poirier or Gaethje. Who would I want out of those two? Probably Gaethje. You know, to be honest, I think it's just going to be a crazy entertaining fight. Both styles. Yeah, that'll be a hell of an interesting fight. Who else do we see? Jimmy Crute. So Jimmy Crute, he's coming off a loss, so it'll be his first loss that he came off in his previous fight. I can't remember exactly who, I just know that he lost to a stalwart. Okay, someone correct me in the comments. He lost to someone, no wait there, he lost to Serkinov, that's right. I was watching that fight. So Misha Serkinov beat him. He'll probably just take on someone outside of the rankings, perhaps. Okay, Jake Matthews, another Aussie guy, he'll be there, most likely. He'll jump in on the card. It's a really well-timed card coming off Melbourne. You know, Melbourne was in late this year, so then there'll be a lot of guys jumping off. Alright, who else? We've got Jake Matthews. I saw Shane Young, he'll be in there. He's on a bit of a run. He's had 3 victories in a row, so he may get a ranked fighter, who knows. He's also fighting at, you know, 155, so imagine. And then we had Brad Quake Riddell there, so he's new to the division, but he could be another Izzy type guy who goes on a tear, because he's got 75, 80 kickboxing fights. So perhaps they're teeing him up for like a fight with Gaethje. That's the fight I want to see. Brad Quake Riddell, you heard it here first, against Gaethje. I think that will be the war to end all wars. There's plenty of other guys around, so we've got, you know, I think Tyson Pedro will be trying to get onto that card. I think I saw a tweet go out of his. He'll be trying to get onto that card. Megan Anderson will be trying to get onto that card. There'll be a heap of people, but we know that we're going to get a main event probably between Dan Hangman Hooker and some big international high-ranked name. It's probably either going to be... I'm picking Gaethje. Why? Because I think Poirier's going to sit on his hands and not take it. We all know that he's adamant that he wants this Conor fight, or a big fight, or a fight that means something to him. He's already said no to Hangman in the media, but Hangman did put that post out there saying that he'd donate half of his show money for Dustin's charity. So it's kind of interesting, eh? It's kind of interesting. So we'll see what's going to happen. That's an early prediction. Once the card starts filling up, I will come on, start making some predictions, but super excited. How could I forget the man, Robert Whittaker, coming off a loss in his title defense against Israel Adesanya. He will most likely, they put his video there, but I think they're just hyping it up. I'm kind of thinking he's going to take on Darren Till in Liverpool, but we will see. You never know. He might draw out someone else, another 185er ooh, you know, maybe like a Serkinov or someone like that into, you know, a defense. Ooh, defending the home patch back here, but you never know. He's probably got bigger and better things. I don't know if they need all of these big names to fill this card because, you know, they're probably just going to have 2 to 3 big fights. The stadium is going to sell out regardless. We know that Auckland will sell out, and then it's really just about having enough big fights to get the weekend cranking and get people interested in it, and it will really only need 3. You know, the UFC is generally putting 3 big fights, and then the rest is all sort of local undercard stuff. That's the final prediction. We'll keep more info coming to your team. Yeah, Tulloch Clan, subscribe.